just to basically run through give updates on certain projects and to see what projects we have upcoming, right? So I just want to thank everyone for taking time to come out this morning. And let's get into it. Let me share my screen.
Which one?
One.
I'm trying to look at it and said that to get a pre-registration approval with someone else's.
Anything?
Yeah. Keep trying.
Yeah. Right. So for those who don't know, and I'll just try to share my screen. I don't know how much you all can see. We have a new operations consultant. He takes over from Sharice. We know it took a while, but that's because we were trying to get the right person, not just necessarily any person. Cassie Pierre has a pretty good range in terms of what we're looking for. He has experience with managing properties, which was very important. He has a very strong IT background, which is also excellent because, as you all know, we kind of trying to push towards a digitalization of the Samaan Grove reporting and paperwork and whatnot, right? He started at the beginning of this month, June 2023, and he will oversee the property management aspect of the compound. He will also review all open projects because we know we have a lot of small projects that some of us couldn't really keep track on. So things started to slow down a little bit, admittedly. So now that he is here, we are starting to see some quicker movements, which is excellent, right? All right, so one of the things that we're trying to do is revise the processes for how we, but in terms of reporting any complaints, how we handle them, right, within the compound. For immediate and emergency security related issues, mainland security is the point of contact, right? So if you see a stranger in the bushes or on the compound, someone in a mask, something looking late at night, no, don't send a WhatsApp in the group. Call security immediately, because that time that you're taking to send that WhatsApp in a group chat, I might be sleeping, someone else might be, we mightn't see it. The security, call them, right? If you don't get onto security and this is an urgent issue for whatever reason you don't get onto them, call the police, right? That should always be the first point, right? For guest arrivals and contractor arrivals, we're asking everyone to email customer service at samaangrove.com, right? Until we finish that section of the website. So it's just as simple, listen, you have guests coming into your house, send the email listing all the guests, right? And it gets to security, and it's a smooth flow. Instead of guests at the house and then security doesn't know, we don't know, and there's always a issue, and that is on the homeowner, right? For customer feedback and concerns, you can also email customer service at samaangrove.com, and then Jillian will route it to whoever it needs to go to. So let's just say me have a problem with Cassie, you send it to her. You have a problem with anything on the compound, send everything to her, and she will now send it to the relevant person to handle, right? For concerns regarding the grounds, some little issues you might see in Samaan Grove, something that might need fixing. Recently, we had the issue with the grates and the drains. A manhole cover might be open. Then you send an email to operations@samaangrove.com. What we will also be doing is sharing Cassie's number if we haven't done it already. I think it was done, so that you can also call him directly, right? Just as we used to do with Sharice, and inform him, listen, Cassie, I just saw something at lot number 3. An open manhole, something like that. Or you're passing on a morning, you see a piece of the bridge, a piece of wood looking rotten or something. Call him and let him know. There will be things that he might miss, that we might miss, even living inside of here, right? But I mean, as a community, if we all kind of, if everyone decides on it, huh? Well, right, good. So now that's it. So now we will share his number with you guys, but it was shared, I think, in the, via email as well, right? I could be wrong on that. So, right. All right. So just a couple of project updates. You all would have noticed that for a while there were a lot of open manhole covers, right? Many open manhole covers. those were rectified. I think there's just one or two open now. That's just because when they're doing construction right now, they may have just open them to get access and forgot to close them back. But there were issues where the manhole was actually missing, the cover was actually missing. So we engaged a contractor and he fabricated new covers. So I believe the majority of them have now been closed up, which is excellent. The installation of the drainage gates, that has been completed. There were even a couple gaps along with those gates that we recently remedied this month. Cassie was able to rectify that immediately. Right. Well, nothing will stop the rubbish from coming in because that's just where we located. All of the water comes down from the village, right? Now the grates will stop the rubbish from coming into the lakes. And what we're doing as well is Roy was implementing with Cassie is to have a maintenance schedule for the gates then. So we're not waiting until we see rubbish start to pile up here. So we say, listen, every 2 months or every 3 months, we have someone come in and clean them out. And probably during the rainy season, I mean, there will be a lot more flow. Then we could probably up it to once a month as need be, right? But now that we have Cassie, we have eyes on the ground, we could, it'll be easier to manage that process, right? The security camera system, Dean Black, during the last meeting, we were advised that Dean Black was doing an audit. He has completed the audit, made recommendations, and I think he tried a couple times to come in. What we need to do is just basically, he is suggesting that some of the antennas need to be relocated, right? To have a better line of sight. He identified which ones need to be relocated. Every time we tried, rain kept affecting us, right? Because those cameras, you need to open the electrical boxes to get to them. And definitely when rain is falling, that's no, you definitely can't do that. So we're just waiting for some proper weather this week coming here. And then we should have that up and running properly, right? Once that is up and running to the level that we are happy with, then we will begin the northern boundary installations, right? But I think based on Dean's audits and his experience and the fact that he's based in Tobago, I think that's who we'll be going with for the security camera. So we know we have a problem, we could call him and within an hour or two, he should be able to come and sort out any.
And also, one of the key things is to have a recurring maintenance.
Yeah.
With that person, so we don't wait for things at 4 o'clock to address it. So
Yeah.
Right.
You doing it or you follow Ricardo?
No, Dean. Yeah. Right. The street lights, right? I think we need to we touched on it already, but I think you all will agree as well, the street lights are very inadequate now in Samaan Grove, right? If you're walking at night, between the lights, there are big gaps, dark gaps, right?
Big one that way.
Right. So what we are looking at doing is we're currently getting costing from 3 different suppliers for new LEDs, for new bulbs. I like the one over where you that empty lot between us there. That I think that light is fantastic. The range that we get with it.
A long way, but kind of went up and down.
Well, recently, but that light has been installed for a couple of years now, right? And I think based on the length, because that was a test light we did basically, right? And based on the amount of time that was installed, I think there's probably a good solution because we got a good few years out of it. Yeah. So what we currently doing, but as again, it's not as simple as unscrewing a light bulb and unscrewing anyone, because with that light, now you need to make sure that the electrical grid can handle that capacity if the posts need to be retrofitted as well. So that's a major project, right? But we already started getting costing on it. We're hoping within a couple of months to complete that, right? Golf cart repairs, Cassie is working on that as well. He already started getting costing to do repairs on the golf cart. So we will even have security using that as well, right? Which should definitely help. What we just basically doing is looking at this and let's see cost to repair it.
We got the golf cart for the storm hire from down by the
what's his name?
Jagarama.
Okay.
Well, he has a thing, and he was the one I think Jeff and then got the golf carts originally from.
Well, at this point, it's just because that golf cart has some.
Yeah.
It has some issues, so we basically looking at the cost to repair it,
Yeah.
and then we will weigh that versus the cost of a new one.
Right.
Maybe
Just
Get all the parts.
Yeah.
And he
That's a-
all of it, he did
that's a
everything.
threshold. Sorry,
No, battery.
that's a battery. But
Yes,
that's what
yeah.
you want the silence.
Yeah.
To travel.
Yeah, definitely no gas, electric, right? Right, well, as many of you all would know, the Samaan Grove sign was knocked down a couple months ago, right? Yeah, so, and then we tried to engage the police, the Sherburne station to see if we could get any information as to who knocked it down so we could engage them to repay for it. But we all know, right, yeah, right, so we know how that went, right? So right now we are looking at replacing that sign.
Yeah.
The reason it's taking a little longer than usual is just we looking at some different designs. So not necessarily just those two metal posts and a basic sign, probably something maybe with a little stonework, have it looking a little classy, you know. But again, look at based on the cost, right? So that's why we're just getting costing on that. So just bear with us while you know we want to do it right when we do it over, right? Right, recycling. That was an exciting project that Catherine kicked off. Phase 1 is in progress where we have collections on a Monday, right? I don't know if you all utilize it. I always forget. Yeah. I mean I will say I am guilty of that. Yeah, I know I do it, but I got so accustomed to using those bins by penny savers. So that's why I normally throw mine, which is ridiculous when they're really with it. So I've gotten some of the translucent bags that they wanted. So I'm hoping to start that on a personal level very soon, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we have to get accustomed to it, and we encourage all residents to do it. Probably those who rent out their homes as well, put up a sign so your guests know as well. The more people use it, right, the better, because I mean we don't want that program to go away. We want it to stay, right? So we need to use it, right? We have a drainage issue at the end of the development, which we know about down at the gate, you know, and there's a lot of flooding going on there. And as we all know, that's just because the land beyond the gates is not under our control, right? It's higher, but it's not under our control. So it's not to say that we can just go open a gate and clear down that land or anything like that, right? That we can open ourselves up to legal.
A lot of that.
Right. That was before, but
yeah,
but that's before that whole Sandals project, and that's before Royal started to get a little stricter down in the back there, right? But however, Roy has had a very productive meeting with them. With Occidental, yeah, right. And coming out of that meeting, we are hoping for a resolution very soon. Roy is designing a solution.
Yeah, so basically, we're hoping to have a meeting with them because the real estate slowly.
one thing I would like to talk about if you are chatting to them is that I don't know what the law is about hunting near residential areas, but that is very. I had 2 of the hunting dogs came into my yard and attacked my cat. And I mean, I would have killed them. With them. And the hunters they walk through the properties like they own it. They were walking with guns. They're walking with hunting dogs, not on leashes.
Engineer.
Yeah.
All in the back, yeah. And we do that. I mean,
so what we'll do is definitely after.
Wildlife left.
Yeah.
We'll bring the question up then.
Yeah.
And maybe we get to speak to other authorities who control the issue. We need to speak to the authorities that issues the hunting permits.
We have a number from the police to call if we hear or see them in off season.
Right.
Right.
Might.
So this on the side note, it'll be good to get the dates and then all the residents know some of the.
Yeah. So that's what we definitely on.
Bad because it's residential areas.
Yeah. So definitely we have a number of issues to discuss with oil. So afterwards we'll discuss but definitely that flooding is a major issue.
The entire longitudinal grade of this development is very flat.
Yeah.
My place at number 25, I haven't messed up farm which has rains. So it's terrible. So whoever built it didn't use the glacier level. They will go straight or whatever they use to up and down. But the problem is at the end where you have heavy rains. So these developments, the road is designed as a floodway as well. So what again discharge? But
it's down there, this one a swing grade.
Yeah, but it can discharge because it's getting the sediment build up, the vegetation. So I put a quick design we do for a lot of roadworks, which is discharge in water. It's basically a swale design with some geofabric and rock material, so it restrict vegetation growth, it can be easy. But
I
we have
think
to make sure we got the grade line.
they just said that they weren't hearing you properly, right? I think this time.
Oh, sorry.
That's right, that's right.
Okay,
But I know that Sunil, I think who owns lot 133, I know he is in on this chat, so Sunil. Rest assured, we are working on it. And we're really hoping to have some sort of resolution as soon as possible. Right? The last point, bridge repairs. Some of the wooden parts of the bridge started to rot out again. So we got them changed out. I think they were repainted already, right? All right, morning. So this is Cassie here, the new operations consultant. Morning, Cassie. All right. Right. Another major issue that we would like to discuss is the security process, right? What we're trying to do is tighten up with security, right? What we were asking homeowners to do is submit. We have a form that we would have sent out, right? To submit, besides guest arrivals, especially what we want is your routine work personnel. So you know that you have a landscaper, you know, you might have a plumber, an electrician who you normally use. Submit that listing to security with their names and their contact information. So that security knows, okay, well, these people are authorized to come in, right? But we still have to let security know when they are coming in, right? And I mean, it's something that even I, on a personal level, I am guilty of. I have submitted the names to security, and I know that I take it for granted sometimes. I tell my plumber, okay, listen, I need to come in now. And you know, you might think to call. Yeah.
They know all these people that are coming and going, and
Yeah.
they know, because I said so and so is going, yeah, we know him. You know, so it's always
Yeah, but what we want now is something documented,
Yeah.
so that in the event that something does happen, God forbid, we have it documented. Well, listen, security knows they were supposed to let this person in, but then why was this other person let in if they weren't on the list? That kind of
It
thing,
helps
right?
to centralize the database, so it's not ad hoc.
Yeah.
We're trying to take away all the ad hoc things and make it streamlined, and this is one way of having those fields.
Yeah.
I gotta fill my fields in as well, so
Right.
I looked at my last night.
And well, as usual, all contractors, because we have a lot of construction going on now, right? A lot. So it's a good and bad thing. It's good for the community as a whole. But I mean, it could be a little bit annoying with the noise and whatnot. But I mean, all of us constructed houses here, so we at some point we were the noisy people,
And
right?
we all suffer.
Yeah. So
Difference is the fact that the parks are getting bigger and the equipment is huge compared with what we used. I
yeah,
mean, we use on a house, you know, but nowadays they have these massive big trucks. But I'm looking at the road and while we watching the road. So I think we better start putting signs because we're gonna have to repay that eventually.
Well, the road needs to be.
Yes,
It's already back
Yeah.
now. Aged.
so we just want to remind everyone that your contractors must be registered and they must abide by the rules, the respective construction rules and guidelines, right? Yeah. I know one issue that was raised recently, out of the rules was like use of the generator, right?
Yes.
And the sad fact is that there were no provisions in place in the original lease agreements. So really and truly, there was nothing with generators. It should have been there. So we actually did. Yeah, we know that. So
There, the recording.
what's up? Oh, okay, all right, yeah. So basically there was nothing in place, so we could not legally tell someone you can't use a generator. We have put in a new clause in the lease agreement, so going forward, anyone who signs those new lease agreements, they will have to abide by it, right? Right.
So that include new people buying a lot that's already been sold.
Yeah, it would.
All these.
No, but they will have to sign a new lease agreement. Yeah. And very quickly, just basically a quick graphic to show the breakout of built properties versus land only construction and those who are waiting for regulatory approval. So we actually have more than 50% built right now, right? We have I think probably like about 5 or 6 properties, no, but probably about 4 under construction right now. Next year is going to be a very noisy year in Samaan Grove, right? It is going to be a noisy year. I think we expected something like 10, right? Yeah. I don't know.
This.
and that's basically what,
Politics,
right,
but where that guy was going to build the house there and left the shed and everything, but he left part of the posts and stuff to mark out the house.
Yeah.
Which can say the way of cutting the block.
So just 1 second. So, right, so that's basically it for the PowerPoint updating everyone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah. So that's it for the PowerPoint. Again, the email is customerservice@samaangrove.com. We encourage everyone to check out www.samaangrove.com, where we updated the website. There's now a homeowner login section where property owners can log in. You create a account with the website and you log in and you'll be able to view financials, statements, your statements and whatnot. Right. All right. And pretty soon, even later on, we're also hoping to have that option to pay fees on the website as well. Right.
What the then the soil standbys? You're allowed to use a standby during construction.
I think they were
okay, so-
told before, that when the construct, what happened was when they
Yeah.
came in. The fellow that was building, he was told,
All right, just 1 second. So we want to ask also those of you online, if you have any questions, you can feel free to type it out and we'll do our best to address them, right? With regards to the standby, once you sign the old lease agreement, you would be allowed to use it, to use it, right? Because there was nothing in there from way back when, right? So we can't legally do anything about
no,
that.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
legally, I'm saying just to help the fellows that you don't like it in here, you have people who actually live here
Yeah,
that have to.
I
Yeah.
think,
It's not fair. It really is unbelievably bad.
yeah, it is.
let me just interject for a second. I think one thing we're missing that works to be very well in my business is to have when a new build is coming in. Is to have a one-on-one, and Cassie, this might be good for you, a basic pre-construction meeting with the builders. Yeah, but we gotta formalize things. With set points on access, safety, compliance, damage to public property. Many of these things. There's other things.
Neighbor's property.
There's other things we could ask for. In the future, which is common as a dilapidation survey, is a photograph of. The properties of surrounding the road, so when they tear up the curb and slippers, when they tear up the road. Or they damage the road, it's a cost to us. So,
They rust your wall.
well, exactly, we've got to prove all these things, but. The pre-construction meeting takes 5-10 minutes. And it puts every contract on the same page.
Yeah.
So they cannot plead ignorance.
Yeah.
Because that's a common thing. And if they're professional, they will take it on board. And they will do their best to do the right thing. And if we have to pull them up, we pull them up accordingly. Right now, it's ad hoc.
You're limited.
I had my share a few times.
Yeah,
I pulled my hair out a few times.
but on the whole, the workers are very, very nice. Now, don't get me wrong, because they've always been very polite, always good. So I really have had no big problems. Contractors are another matter, but the workers have been very, very nice people on the whole.
Right,
And
so.
they've been very good about the speeding and the. things
What we
like
can
that.
probably do is, for those, I don't know if you all met Cassie already. So Cassie, if you want to just come and just say a couple things about, if you want to just come and say a couple things, come and stand close to your laptop so those online can hear you as well, right? I could probably try and share my video now so that they can see you. Start video. Yeah, so, all right, so the thing with the mic is when you all talk, they can't hear what we say over here, right? Yeah. So again, although we introduced Cassie already via the PowerPoint, we'll just allow him to say a few words to introduce himself to everyone.
So morning guys, Cassie Pierre is the name. I'm at Tabigonian now for the past going on 5 years. My background is management training. What else can I say? Network, IT, small business management, property management, a bit of everything, from the ground up. And my last stint, if anyone wants to know, I was the country manager for Longport Aviation Security at Piaco. So I worked in the airport for about 7 years. So security is a big part of that, right? So some of the challenges that Brent and Wally have shared with me, we are seeking to see how quickly we could get them resolved, or at least put things in place so it will be an ongoing resolution. You know, security here is paramount, especially when we don't have a enclosed space, right, all the way around. So the security cameras is a project that we're working closely with Mr. Black.
Yeah, they've done that already.
Yeah, so to ensure that we have the camera feed up all the time and downtime is negligible if it does go down, that's it. So but that's just a bit of me, a bit of what I've already started working on. And it was nice to meet some of you, right? And we love the thing so far. So from those who I've met,
Yeah.
thus far. So I look forward to being here and helping you guys have a smooth sailing and enjoy your little piece of paradise as it were.
It is.
All right, so just to summarize, everyone, this is the person to harass. No longer Brent, right? Yeah, no longer. That's what I can see. So I think we kind of covered a lot of things. What I would ask is for those online to submit your questions. I didn't see any questions coming through. If not, you can always email your questions to operations@Samaan Grove or customer service at Samaan Grove, right?
No questions?
Hmm?
No questions?
No, I don't see anything else. Yeah.
More questions.
That's all. Let me just confirm with Julian. That's the one sending thing.
I always look at
The black book is out.
No, that's okay, that's okay. We got this one out there.
You need the black box, right?
More questions to matter.
It's good as it. Sure.
Well, what's down?
Covering stuff.
All right, well, I didn't see any questions coming so far. So I would like to think that we did such a good job. No one had any questions because the presentation was
No one had.
so concise. All right.
House.
Mhm.
We need to come down to the second pond. People come around that corner.
All right.
We have our ducks. My cats have been hit twice by cars. That's why I'm kind of a fanatic about this meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna have some back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we line there every day. So.
Okay.
And that is where they speed around the corner, especially workmen leaving the site, so everything, because they're running late.
All right. That's all.
Get out, but I said, well, you know, it's 4:45. There's supposed to be other 5, right?
The roundabout by me too, people keep cutting. One day they're gonna have one.
Put it on the right side, so the left side.
Mr. Clark, I'm gonna get your chair and whistle.
Don't forget the microphone as well.
So. Road days, but now there's traffic like crazy, everybody going to the house, they build it.
All right. So we have some questions here.
We got some questions, guys.
All right. So we have some questions here. All right. So the perimeter wall around the water settling pond is broken and people are using the area to pass through. Right. I'm not so sure which.
That's
Right.
opposite 133.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. So that's what we're currently doing, what Cassie has started as well. We are getting costing for a chain link fence down at the gate, right? That L shape, we do not L shape fence to enclose that lot, right? To kind of tighten up there. Now the whole northern boundary, we can't fence the entire northern boundary, but at least that area there, we could definitely.
There.
Yeah, because it was supposed to flow into the golf course, right? Yeah, so, so yeah, so we in the process of getting that chain link fence, costing for it. As soon as that comes in, probably within a week or two, Cassie, how long do you think that costing should take again? Yeah, about a week or two, then we'll review it and see who is the best. Yeah, definitely. And plus the camera, the location, so we are aware that the camera is intermittent down at that location. Again, once probably hoping by about Monday or Tuesday, once we get good weather, Dean will come in and relocate those antennas, and that should sort that problem out. Right. Okay, and I think the owner at 133 has advised that he has some fencing that we can use as well, probably, I don't know, wire or whatever. Yeah, so right, so yeah, so that's great. So that can even help with us. Yeah, we know that.
Right, okay,
So,
good, yeah.
Right, great. So thanks for that,
Yes.
right?
One other thing too, before, like when you had the slow ferry that always came at night, trucks with material, right?
Yeah,
But the rule was, or whatever in the old days was that the truck would wait outside until the contractor came. And come in with the contractor.
right,
And so the contractor was in here all the time, the truck would work.
Right.
At night, whatever.
yeah,
But now they're letting the truck and then the contractor arrive sometime or afterwards.
okay,
Well,
all right.
but I don't know if that has changed or.
I think that's because what Mr. Batiste implemented is that normally he knows that he knew that once whoever is coming to do deliveries, they kind of post a security guard around the site where they drive for. So that kind of helped in terms of if the contractor came late, because for the truck to wait outside on that road, sometimes it became out, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He was there by the gate.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, the contractor came.
yeah,
But I think,
yeah,
But the gate knows the driver, he's been doing this.
yeah.
Who does, and he does Tobago regularly, so they know him. And I would let them know that he's coming on the boat.
All right, so yeah, so I know that city normally has a security guard posted on there with them.
but I think that's appropriate, the security guard is appropriate, ideally. The contractor's there, but in lieu of the contractor being there, the security guard can monitor the unloading
Yeah.
and departure.
Yeah,
Know that he's coming, he's brought stuff for me. And he.
Well, it's a good one.
yeah.
Is there anything further on the place for dropping cutting?
Well, we have that Wednesday pickup.
I mean,
Yeah,
palm branches, with the quality of plastic bag there.
yeah.
The palm branches very dated.
What do you think?
No, I mean, you only see a palm branch and but
Oh,
Yes, I have questions.
all right, so
Have a weekly burn. And the old Indian burn us.
no, not really.
right. Also, this month, I have a quote from Mr. Batiste, right? For this month, what we want to do is add on an extra guard at night. For this month, just because of island crashes, right? I don't think it might be necessary during the day. To have an extra guard, but definitely at night, you know, you have a lot of vehicles coming in, parties, people might want to throw parties, that kind of stuff. So they have managed that. I think probably, yeah.
But we didn't have any
Good.
problem, and the
Good.
other people that we met, I
That
would say, you know, be careful, so
that
let's.
was supposed
They
to
were
be
big
going
people,
on
like,
management again in this sense.
So same thing, we have the extra security guard.
Be quiet.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Let's keep fingers crossed for that. Yeah,
But it's not a bad idea annually, because July is, you know, so the kickoff of island crashes. July is a very busy month in here,
Yeah.
so it's not, it should be something to consider as a recurring.
I think we get to all the children.
Yeah, so we can probably look at taking on that guard probably, I would say from Monday, right? We let that guard, the extra guard come on. And that should help manage it a little better, right? Because even though it was quite good, it was good last year, we don't wanna, yeah. So, but what, I don't know, so to me, like I've seen a lot of, probably a lot more local tourists this year. I think a lot of people starting to come back out of the houses that come across today with this year. So like this weekend is actually kind of busy, right? So let's just, I think it's just a matter of being proactive.
Yeah.
Let's bring that extra security guard on, and it's better that they are there, right, for this month, for the next month, rather than they're not there and then I know pressure is, it goes back to how it was before, and then, you know, we end up in that
I
situation.
was gonna say back to the security, concurrently, if we could get the golf cart fixed sooner than later, will be a good thing.
Yeah.
They're more, because walking, the time to walk back and forth versus an electric vehicle is, you know, it's much more efficient way.
Much presents.
And better for safety for the workers as well.
All right. I think that was most of the questions online. So thanks for those questions, guys. You guys have any questions? Or anything that you want to discuss? Yeah.
Looking sure we could be in by.
Yeah. So I think Mr. Batis, we spoke to him about that. I spoke to him about that. And
Yeah.
right, so good. So we can work. What we do is,
Was with neighbors.
yeah.
Up to 12 o'clock on a Saturday. and that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah. I think the reason they extended it to 2 o'clock on a Saturday now is just because, I mean, if you have to pay somebody for their work, it's kind of hard. I don't know. I think that was why it happened. Yeah. But work on a Saturday should be.
These places. They have
Builders. Yeah.
builders, that's.
Yeah, agree. Saturday work should be what we call quiet work, which is probably some painting, that kind of stuff, right? Because we have to, you know, there's a precedent. So if you say, listen, one person might ask for some Saturday work to be done because of whatever situations.
A lot of that's been going on.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so we spoke to Mr. Batista about it. We have been getting a lot of requests for Saturday works from houses under construction, and we have been refusing it. Yeah. As much as you want, and much as we could appreciate, and we want them to finish their construction, and we know the costs associated. But exactly, and the fact that we now have 4 to 5 houses under construction, and then next year it's going to be even worse, right? We can't, if you give one person approval, then you're already supposed to have give everyone approval, and then it'll just be like a madhouse on a Saturday, right?
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no Band-aid.
Yeah. Yeah,
Unfinished schools too. For some people that are.
right, okay,
Right.
yeah, okay. So that's something we could also look at as well, too. Yeah,
I mean, even if you have it done and it's not finished and you do one finishing house to it. Maybe just put a little bit of vegetable oil,
Mhm.
a little bottle of
Yes,
do
yeah.
no harm. on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a health issue. That's a serious health
Yeah,
issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
And for those who can't hear, that's regarding unfinished pools with mosquitoes and lava
Yeah.
being a
so
concern.
Cassie, what we could probably do is do an audit of the all the
And the
current construction and.
The dumping of construction stuff
Mhm.
and mess. Next door to me, at one stage, they cleaned it nicely. I saw them do it. Teresa and I watched them clean it perfect. But by the time I left, they dumped rubbish, crap all behind the house towards the forest. right?
Okay.
And they originally had a nice, the swale was good going into the, because there's a pond behind us that collects water. The runoff from the ponds up the road, if it's flooded. And it's very important because we've been flooded.
Right,
When we first built there, we had water pouring in the back and. Like our land was graded to go down to the swale. And the swale wasn't deep enough, because we weren't expecting that kind of water, and the water just came. Into the yard and flooded like crazy, and so we've always made sure that that area is
Right.
clear.
so that's,
And the swale drains going down to the end. They used to keep clear, but they don't anymore,
right.
because we had the track.
So there's still rubbish in the back of that lot then?
Yeah,
Next year?
it's, they hold over it, you know, there's old buckets and all
Okay,
that kind of stuff, and they.
So we have to write- we'll have to write that homeowner,
They
so.
left
Yeah,
out of dirt and a bag of sand and all that.
okay, so what you can probably do is also just give Cassie the lot number.
Yeah.
And we'll have him write to the homeowner, right? So again, for those online, anyone there who has any current construction going on, is just to be mindful of the collection of the rubbish and waste, right? Right, yeah, I think that's about it. I think I didn't see any new questions coming there. All right. So, yep, I'm giving on the time. That's great. All right. So again, thanks everyone for taking the time on who logged in online. If you have any further questions, anything you might have forgotten about, feel free to send an email. Right. I'm gonna to close off the Zoom chat now. So thanks again.
Right.
Good.